This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.
Hi, my name is Igor Kheifets, and this is the List Building Lifestyle, the only podcast which delivers cutting-edge conversion strategies from the online trenches straight to your earbuds. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. I also invite you to grab a free copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. And now, once again, it's time to claim your list building lifestyle.
You are listening to List Building Lifestyle with the Chief List Builder himself, Mr. Igor Kheifets. What is up, my man?
All is good, my brother. All is good in the list building kingdom.
Nice. I feel like you have a sign above your door, entering the kingdom of list building.
Oh yeah, it says King's Office, royal behinds only.
Nice. So, Igor, what do you have in store for us today?
Well, John, I got a question for you.
Uh-oh.
How do you feel about competition?
How do I feel about competition? Usually I feel like I want to take out all the competition around me, but sure that's not the right mindset.
Well, I don't know, because a lot of times what I see people, do is they get timid with the mere idea or thought of competition. Like a lot of people don't even start a business because they say the marketplace is too competitive. Of course, they ignore the fact that since there is competition, probably means there's also money in that marketplace. But I don't want to focus on that in this episode. What I want to chat about is, how do you treat your competition? Do you treat it as motivation, or do you let it limit you in some way?
Okay. All right. I'm game for that.
So it got me thinking, ever since I was a little kid, I was really emotional. I'm still really emotional. It's just, I guess I can better utilize my emotions. But ever since I was a kid, I couldn't stand competition just like you. In fact, I would get so frustrated if I was beaten by my competitors, which at the time, of course, were the people I went to school, with, that I could I could end a friendship, like
Wow.
if we were to play like a game of basketball one-on-one or something, and you beat me, I can literally not talk to you for like a week. That's how I was one of those kids, right? That really wanted to win all the time. And I was always told that was a bad thing. Not sure, but that's what I guess all the people around me told me, both my friends and my parents and my teachers, that I shouldn't be so competitive. I shouldn't be taking, a loss, in such a personal way. But, I discovered, and only kind of hit me recently, is that one of the reasons I built a very successful business is because I really can't stand to lose. And having competition drives me forward probably way, way, way better and way more, efficiently than dreaming of some big idea or bringing some change to the world. Again, we're coming back to that fear of missing out, of fear of being second. And when it comes to business, really, most people, they don't take their competition seriously enough. They don't understand how to utilize the concept, right, of competition to make themselves and their businesses better.
It kind of plays into that little bit that you gave us where you're motivated by the stick and not the carrot, right? The competition is that stick, like, oh, cat, damn, that guy's got my market share. I want that. I'm going to get it back from him.
Yeah, exactly. So on one hand, I believe that money is not a zero-sum game. In other words, I believe that there's enough money to go around for everybody. But on the other hand, when I think about my competitor that is selling to customers that could be mine, that is offering services that I could be offering, that is making the money that, quite frankly, I could be making, and I could be actually giving my marketplace a much better service doing what he's doing, I get really frustrated. And it really drives me to not only, I guess, push harder in my business, but also create new services and create new offers that eventually become, additional businesses in my portfolio.
Yeah. All right. I'm with you. All right. So competition is a good thing, right?
Yes. But there's always a but. Competition is a great thing.
A royal but.
Exactly. Competition is a great thing. And, as a concept, I respect it. I respect the concept of competition. Just like, say, I'm a big soccer fan. So let's just take Leo Messi, and Cristiano Ronaldo, considered to be perhaps the two most the best players in the world right now, right? We're not going to argue about all time, but right now, Messi is sort of like the Jordan of soccer, and Ronaldo is probably the Kobe of soccer. Just so our American listeners can get the idea. So they make each other better, and I honestly believe that if Messi did not have a Ronaldo and vice versa, they would not be breaking records and doing what they're doing. Because they're driven by that concept. Now, at the same time, while you must acknowledge your competition, you absolutely have to want to crush them, right? You want to rid the world of them, so to speak. You want to quite literally kill them if you have to and win the game. And I know it's, just at the end of the, once the dust settles and the game is over, this won't matter, right? This really won't matter because, you're not really, like, it's not a be all end all when it comes to your life. In other words, when you retire, your life ain't going to be better or worse given the competitors you've kind of wiped the floor with. However, while you're playing the game, your willingness to crush your competitors is everything, right? So I think it's Coach Vince Lombardi said that winning is not everything, but the willingness to win or the desire to win is.
All right, so I don't know if you're going to go here, but I'm going to challenge you, and I can't remember where I first heard this, but I've heard it multiple times. And there's a theory out there that there is no competition at all. Anybody that could be seen as a competitor could be a JV partner. What do you say about that?
That is true. It is another, I guess, this isn't really a coin, right? Because coin only has two sides, and we already spoke about the two sides, but this is another side to this sort of like, square or something. Maybe there's more to it. Maybe it's rectangular, but there is the concept of competition doesn't exist, and the marketplace is an open marketplace. Their money is not a zero-sum game. Thus, you can share customers and make more money. And I honestly believe that too. However, at the same time, I wouldn't go to my direct competitor who sells traffic right now and walk him, behind the scenes of my business and give him all my systems or send my customers to them saying you should buy from them, either before or after you buy from me. Now, the way it comes to fruition, as far as I'm concerned, is if you feel this limitation that there's still some share of the marketplace that is taken by your competitor, which you cannot reach, right? You should feel a little bit scarce. You should feel scarcity, of course, but at the end of the day, these same customers will leave your competitor at some point and come to you, or vice versa. The people who are buying from you right now, they will eventually buy from your competitor if you're offering a service that is not exclusive. For instance, if I was a lawyer, right, I wouldn't, necessarily feel that way if my competitor gets all the clients. Right? They don't need another lawyer. They only need one lawyer. But if I'm selling traffic, I know that they will buy from source A, source B. They'll buy from me. They'll buy from source C and source D and so on. Like I can't, there's very few people that will only buy from one source. So in this case, yes, the customer sharing model works and the abundance model works. Same thing for information marketing, right? If I'm selling an email marketing course, then I can, assume that my customers will buy this course from me. They will go ahead and then buy another course, say from Andrew Chaperon, and then they'll sign up on Ben Settle's newsletter simply because he's also a well-respected authority in email, right? And if you release a podcasting course, Jonathan, then they'll buy your course and they'll go and they'll buy, who's the podcasting superstar these days besides you? John Lee Dumas or somebody like that, right? So they'll buy courses because they're not mutually exclusive. However, if I have my podcasting needs handled and all taken care of by you and your agency, I will not hire another podcasting agency, will I?
Good point.
So just like any concept, all these concepts need to be applied to your specific situation because your business may be a little bit different and rules of the game are also different.
All right. So Igor, I imagine that you're not just going to leave us hanging here. You've got some ideas for us to decimate our competition.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And there's really two types of competition that you will ever encounter. It's the competition that is incompetent, that is absolutely ridiculously incompetent. In fact, they're doing all the wrong things, trying to survive this marketplace. And these competitors, they don't survive. But there's also going to be the other type of competitor that is dominating and that's doing really well. So what I want you to do, if you're just starting out, right? If you're literally just starting out, I want you to model the competitors that are doing really well. So if you're just starting out with a business opportunity, I want you to model the person with the biggest team. If you're just starting out with a podcasting service, then you should model Jonathan. If you're starting out with a traffic agency, you should model Igor. So you should find the biggest, the baddest guy, and you should get on their list. You should buy from them. You should infiltrate their system. You should try and reverse engineer everything they're doing and try to model that to the best of your abilities. Okay? And when it comes to marketing, of course, maybe deliverables are different. Maybe your idea of deliverables is going to be different. But when it comes to marketing, you definitely want to model, not copy. Okay? Don't be an asshole. Don't copy, but model. Which means get inspired, understand the concept, and try to model the concept. Don't just copy word for word, because, Jonathan, you wouldn't believe how many soloed sellers literally swipe my shit all day long. Like, to the word. To the freaking word. They swipe everything. My websites, my emails, everything. So, guys, don't be assholes. Just model the concept.
How do you see that, Igor? How do you find when they're doing that stuff and ripping you off? How do you end up running into that?
Well, because I'm in the traffic business and I pay attention, to what's going on, and I research my competitors too. And whenever there's a new kid on the block, I check them out as well, just to make sure, that I know what's going on. And believe it or not, I've found websites that are literally word for word, okay, copying me, and I had to use my lawyer, which is I use Jason Rosenblum from JHR Legal. I think his website is .com. Great lawyer for online marketers in case you're looking for one, to basically email them and say, look, if you're not taking this website down, I'm suing you.
Wow.
And this is serious. Now, the most incredible, I guess, case of fraud and stealing of intellectual property was when I found somebody using my proof. Can you believe that? They took my testimonials, my proof screenshots, and used them on their website.
No kidding.
Yeah, what a low-class move that is.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, now the beautiful part about this whole thing, of course, is that because they copy word for word and they don't understand the concepts, they don't survive. These, copycats simply don't survive. And that's, of course, the good part. But, of course, a part of me, I'm pissed off when I see stuff like that. I'm naturally pissed off because I put a lot of work into my business, and seeing that work stolen just like that is just it's bad. It's like have you seen the Steve Jobs movie when he was designing the interface for the Mac, with the mouse and like the one we're looking at right now, the visual interface rather than code. And all of a sudden he kind of storms into the office, or was it his one of his coders storms into the office and he's like, look what Bill Gates has done. And they're showing him a computer with like the interface. So he calls Gates up and he says, I will ruin you, you fucker. And, bam, slams the phone, breaks it. And like, that's how I feel when I see people copy my shit.
Watch out. I like the little word of caution. All right. So I got the idea. Model, don't steal, imitate is the way to do it. Any other tips?
Yes. So notice that I mentioned that there's going to be two types of competitors, the competent ones and the incompetent ones. Now, what I see a lot of times is people modeling the wrong competition. They don't take the time to research who actually understands what the hell they're doing with their marketing. They just find the first website they see on Google, or maybe the first website they come across on Facebook, and they model that. And they think that's enough. They think that just by copying that website, that's enough. But no, it's not enough. Just like when you write copy, before you write a single word, you want to research every potential competitor that you got, going against. And you need to find out which one of these guys actually sells. Because I assure you, 80% of your competitors are not making money. Not even talking about making a profit, Jonathan. They're not making money. They're not selling a single thing. So you only must model the ones that are profitable. And that, because you'll see their ads everywhere. You'll see them appearing at events. The guy who probably, is successful, wrote a book or has been at least featured as a speaker in some seminar, right? Those are the successful guys. But the people that are just, slapping a website on the internet and call themselves marketers or gurus or whatever, these guys, don't model them. You're just wasting your time.
I'm gonna challenge you a little bit.
Man, this call is all about challenges.
I've had experiences, especially, I mean, all through the time I've been online, but I've had experiences where some of those people, maybe even a lot of those people, taking stages, being featured, and getting out there are actually not making any money and are dead broke. And I'm wondering how you sort who's who then, if that's the criteria you gave us.
Oh wow, that is a challenge. And to be honest with you, most of the time when people get featured and when they speak and when they get interviewed and invited, to share their valuable opinion, and they got lots of different content and services on the internet, usually they are at least making a living, doing this thing. But if that's the case, and you sort of just researching somebody who appears to be successful and they're doing such a great job of just appearing successful but not really making any money, then man, well, for you, hopefully you'll be able to identify who's who, because I have no idea how you identify in any other way who's making money, who's not, unless you get to take a look at their back office.
Yeah, we saw it a lot in real estate where people would actually fly themselves out to locations, go to speak, and then wouldn't have a freaking business on the back end. And dude, I see it all the time now. I mean, I've turned down people who've come to me to do work because I start asking them the questions and figure out this person does not have a business. And so yeah, it's kind of difficult unless they open up to you or unless you know people. Maybe by referral, right? Would that be even better? Referral, perhaps?
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you kind of ask around, who's the best at this or who's the best at that, and what should you do if you have this problem and this name keeps popping up everywhere, then yeah, absolutely. Like if you start asking, around about email marketing, then you can bet that either Ben's name or Andre's name is going to pop up, right? It's almost like guaranteed that Ben or Andre will pop up. Sure, both have different schools of email marketing, but both are successful at what they do. And if their name keeps popping up all the time, then they're good. I had someone reach out to me on Friday, and this lady, she's an executive assistant to an owner of a business opportunity, and she reached out to me. And when we got on the phone, I asked her, "So how did you find me? Why did you reach out to me?" And she said, "Well, I started asking around. We needed traffic, like good quality premium traffic. And I started asking around, and everywhere I would turn, your name kept popping up. So I figured then I'd reach out to you." And that's how it happened, because she's been told that I'm the best. And of course, that's a great position to be in, right? When other people are saying that you are good and not you yourself trying to hype the shit, out of your business.
That's what old Ben Settle says. If you got to say it, you ain't it.
Exactly.
Good stuff, Igor. So we're coming close to wrapping this up. Any other tips you want to share with the list builders?
Well, not really, no. I mean, at the end of the day, you definitely want to choose a market that has plenty of competition, which means there's plenty of money. You definitely don't want to just tolerate your competition or respect your competition. You want to fucking crush them at least until the game is over. And then you can both have a cup of coffee together and reminisce about how, great times, how I took you down here and you took me down there, whatever. And of course, remember, money is not a zero-sum game, which means even if you got tons of competitors, you will always find your own micro niche within the niche that would allow you to make money. When I stepped in to the online marketing game, I thought there was too much competition. I was, going against guys like Jonathan Budd and Mike Dillard and Dagan Smith and Russell Brunson. I mean, a lot of these names are still around, but I was going again up against all these guys, and I was thinking like, oh my God, how can I possibly make it in this industry with these competitors, right? But the reality was that slowly but surely I started building up my portfolio, started building up my income. And even though today I don't consider myself to be anywhere near close, say Russell Brunson, right? Who I consider to be way more successful than I am, yet look at me, right? The business we've built and the reach we've got is tremendous. And now there's somebody stepping into this industry today or yesterday or last month looking at me saying, oh my God, how can I make money if there's guys like Igor, making all the money? So it's always the same pattern. No matter if you're listening to this podcast and trying to get into the business today, or you're going to listen to this podcast a year from now, and trying to get into the business and considering to sign up for a business opportunity, you're always going to feel like there's too much competition. But remember, that's an illusion. That's a mirage. The reality is, if there's a lot of competition, there's a lot of money to be made. Thus, you step in, you find the biggest, the baddest guy, you start modeling them to the best of your abilities, and you start building your brand, your business, in order to, well, position yourself within the marketplace. And soon you'll find yourself, if you do all the right things, of course, right? You'll find yourself in a position where other people start modeling you because they see that you're doing something right.
And then you get the lawyer to threaten to sue them and start copying. All right, so that is a wrap for another List Building Lifestyle show. Thank you, Igor. Thank you, List Builders, for tuning in. We'll be back in your earbuds next time.
Thank you for listening to the List Building Lifestyle. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes or Google Play to never miss an episode. Because who knows, just one conversion tactic we share on the show might double your list and double your business. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. And don't forget to claim your complimentary copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. This is Igor Kheifets, and until next time we talk, have a good one.
This is the podcastfactory.com.